Did you know there's an island where the ocean glows, a tiny frog sings nonstop, and the sun sets twice in one evening? And believe it or not, it's technically not even a country. From bizarre natural wonders to fascinating history, we're taking you on an unforgettable journey through 15 incredible facts about Puerto Rico, some of which might just shock, amaze, and maybe even make you want to move there. Let's dive into fact number 1. Puerto Rico is not a country. At first glance, Puerto Rico feels like its own nation. It has a unique culture, a distinct flag, and a strong national identity. But in reality, it's a U.S. territory. That means anyone born in Puerto Rico is an American citizen by birth. However, they don't have the same rights as those living in the 50 states. For example, Puerto Ricans can't vote for the U.S. president unless they move to the mainland. And while federal laws still apply, major decisions about the island are ultimately made by the U.S. Congress. This has sparked a long-running debate. Should Puerto Rico become a state, remain a territory, or push for full independence? Over the years, multiple referendums have asked Puerto Ricans to vote on their future. But despite their choices, the U.S. government has yet to take decisive action. To make things even more complicated, Puerto Ricans don't pay federal income tax, but they do contribute to Social Security and Medicare. For over a century, Puerto Rico has been stuck in this unique political limbo. Some people enjoy the benefits of U.S. citizenship, while others believe the island deserves full independence. If Puerto Rico became its own country, it would have full control over its economy, trade, and international relations. On the other hand, if it became the 51st state, it would gain full representation in Congress and the ability to vote in presidential elections. Until that happens, Puerto Rico remains one of the most unusual political situations in the world. A place where the sun sets twice? Yes, you heard that right. In the town of Cabo Rojo, located on Puerto Rico's southwestern coast, you can witness a rare phenomenon, a double sunset. So how does it work? Because of the area's rugged cliffs and rolling hills, the setting sun disappears behind the landscape when viewed from a lower elevation. But if you quickly move to a higher spot, you'll see the sun reappear, only to set again moments later. This optical illusion creates one of the most breathtaking sunsets in the entire Caribbean, drawing photographers, travelers, and nature lovers from all over the world. The best place to witness this magical moment is Faro Los Murillos, a historic lighthouse perched atop a 200-foot limestone cliff overlooking the Caribbean Sea. The views are unreal, and the surrounding area is full of hidden caves, secluded beaches, and even salt flats that turn pink under the right conditions. Locals believe that watching a double sunset brings good luck. And if you're lucky enough to catch on a clear evening, the sky transforms into an explosion of fiery oranges, deep purples, and shimmering golds. So, if you ever visit Puerto Rico, make sure this natural wonder is on your bucket list. And don't forget to bring your camera. Home to the world's brightest bioluminescent bay. Puerto Rico isn't just home to one, or even two bioluminescent bays. It is 3, and the brightest of them all is Mosquito Bay, located on the island of Vieques. This natural wonder holds a Guinness World Record for being the brightest bioluminescent bay on Earth. And when you see it in person, you'll understand why. The glow comes from microscopic organisms called dinoflagellates, which emit light when disturbed. That means every time you move your hand through the water, it looks like you're sprinkling glowing blue dust. The effect is so intense that boats leave neon blue trails behind them, and even fish swimming to the bay create sparkling outlines in the water. So, what makes Mosquito Bay shine brighter than anywhere else? Scientists say it's a perfect mix of factors: an extremely high concentration of dinoflagellates, ideal water temperatures, and a unique shape of the bay, which prevents these glowing organisms from escaping. But here's the surprising part. Despite its name, Mosquito Bay isn't full of mosquitoes. The water is so salty that it actually discourages mosquitoes from breeding, making it a bug-free paradise. Long before modern tourism, Puerto Rico's indigenous Taino people believed the bay was a sacred magical force. Today, the best way to experience this jaw-dropping phenomenon is by kayaking at night, when the glow is at its most intense. If you've ever wanted to feel like you're in a sci-fi movie, this is the closest thing to Avatar's glowing forest. But in real life, Puerto Rico's tiny but iconic frog If you've ever spent a night in Puerto Rico, you've probably heard the nonstop coqui. Coqui sound echoing through the trees. That's the call of the coqui, a tiny frog that has become one of Puerto Rico's most cherished national symbols. Despite being only the size of a coin, this little amphibian is one of the loudest in the world. Its call can reach up to 100 decibels, about as loud as a jackhammer. The name coqui comes from the sound it makes, which you'll hear all night long since these frogs are nocturnal. For Puerto Ricans, the coqui represent home, pride, and resilience. There's even a popular saying, "Soy de aquí como el de aquí," meaning I'm from here like the coqui. Unlike most frogs, the coqui skips the tadpole stage. It hatches directly as a tiny frog, a rare trait in the amphibian world. But here's something even stranger. If a coqui is taken off the island, it usually doesn't survive. It thrives only in Puerto Rico's unique climate and ecosystem. However, it has become an invasive species in Hawaii, where its loud calls keep locals wide awake at night. Some people in Puerto Rico find the sound of the coqui soothing and lucky, while others admit that it drives them crazy when they're trying to sleep. Either way, if you spend a night in Puerto Rico, this tiny frog will make sure you never forget where you are. The longest Christmas in the world. Think your country celebrates Christmas for a long time? Puerto Rico takes it to a whole new level. While most places wrap up the holiday season around New Year's, Puerto Rico keeps the festivities going for nearly 2 months, making it the longest Christmas celebration in the world. The season officially begins in late November and doesn't end until mid-January. One of the biggest highlights is Three Kings Day, or Dia de los Reyes, on January 6th. In Puerto Rican culture, this holiday is often considered more important than Christmas Day itself. On this night, children leave grass under their beds for the camels of the three wise men, just like kids in other parts of the world leave out cookies for Santa. But the celebrations don't stop there. Just when you think the holiday season is over, Puerto Ricans throw one last massive party, the Fiestas de la Calle San Sebastián, held in mid-January in Old San Juan. This epic street festival is one of the biggest parties in the Caribbean, featuring live music, colorful parades, and non-stop dancing. And of course, no Puerto Rican holiday is complete without mouth-watering food. From lechon, roast pork, to pastels, a delicious dish similar to tamales. With nearly 2 months of celebrations, music, and food, it's no surprise that Puerto Ricans are known for their love of partying. A cave with over 1,000 prehistoric drawings. Puerto Rico is home to some of the oldest and most incredible ancient artwork in the Caribbean. One of the best places to see it is Cueva del Indio, located in Arecibo. This spectacular coastal cave features over 1,000 petroglyphs, rock carvings left behind by the indigenous Taino people more than 500 years ago. The carvings depict human figures, animals, spiritual symbols, and even what some believe to be alien-like faces. But the cave itself is just as breathtaking. With massive limestone walls, dramatic ocean views, and a rugged entrance, stepping inside feels like walking into the past. Historians believe Cueva del Indio was a sacred site used for rituals, storytelling, and possibly even early forms of astrology. The carvings are so well preserved that researchers are still studying them today, trying to decode their meanings. Because of its historical significance, the site has been declared a protected area. But unfortunately, some carvings have been damaged over time due to erosion and careless visitors. Cueva del Indio is also a Hollywood favorite. It has been used as a filming location for movies like Pirates of the Caribbean and The Perfect Getaway. But getting inside is an adventure. You'll need to climb down jagged rocks, but once you do, you'll be rewarded with an unforgettable glimpse into Puerto Rico's ancient past. For history lovers and those fascinated by mysterious ancient civilizations, this hidden gem is a must-visit, home to one of the world's largest radio telescopes. For over half a century, Puerto Rico was home to one of the most important radio telescopes in the world, the Arecibo Observatory. Built in 1963, this massive structure featured a 1,000-foot-wide dish, which helped scientists study distant planets, track asteroids, and even search for extraterrestrial life. It played a key role in groundbreaking discoveries, including the detection of the first exoplanet, a planet outside our solar system. And in 1974, it was used to send the Arecibo message, a powerful radio signal beamed into space in hopes that an alien civilization might one day receive it. Beyond science, Arecibo Observatory also became a Hollywood icon, appearing in blockbuster films like GoldenEye and Contact, solidifying its legendary status in both science and pop culture. But in December 2020, after years of structural damage, tragedy struck. The telescope collapsed in a catastrophic failure, shocking the scientific community. Scientists around the world mourned its loss, as Arecibo had been one of the most powerful tools for studying the universe. Even NASA relied on it to monitor potentially dangerous asteroids, helping protect Earth from possible space threats. Today, the site remains a symbol of Puerto Rico's contributions to space exploration, and discussions continue about whether it should be rebuilt. Some scientists believe a new, advanced telescope could replace it, bringing Puerto Rico back to the forefront of deep space research. Even though it no longer stands, the legacy of Arecibo lives on, marking one of Puerto Rico's greatest scientific achievements. A rum lover's paradise. If you love rum, then Puerto Rico is basically heaven on earth. The island produces over 70% of the rum consumed in the U.S., making it one of the most important rum capitals in the world. The biggest and most famous brand? Bacardi. Puerto Rico is home to the largest premium rum distillery on the planet, Casa Bacardi in Cataño, where millions of bottles are produced every year. But Bacardi isn't the only big name. Don Q and Ron Del Barrilito are just as beloved among locals and rum enthusiasts. To ensure high quality, the island has a government-regulated program called Rums of Puerto Rico, which requires all Puerto Rican rum to be aged for at least 1 year. This process makes it one of the smoothest and finest rums in the world. And here's a fun fact. Puerto Rico is believed to be the birthplace of the piña colada, the iconic tropical cocktail made with rum, coconut cream, and pineapple juice. Whether you're sipping on the beach or enjoying a local bar, the rich, smooth flavors of Puerto Rican rum are an essential part of the island's culture. Even if you're not a big drinker, touring a rum distillery is one of the top things to do when visiting. You'll learn about the centuries-old traditions of distilling, aging, and blending rum. And of course, enjoy a tasting or two. Because let's be honest, what better way to experience Puerto Rico than with a glass of its world-famous, award-winning rum in hand? A fire-breathing beach? Puerto Rico isn't just known for its crystal-clear waters and golden sands. It's also home to one of the most unique beaches in the Caribbean. Playa Negra, or Black Sand Beach, is located on the island of Vieques, and it's famous for its stunning volcanic black sand, which gives a completely otherworldly look. So, what causes this rare phenomenon? The black sand comes from eroded volcanic material, which washes down from the island's cliffs and mixes with the regular sand. The result? A dramatic blend of deep black and shimmering gold, making it one of the most photogenic beaches in the world. But what makes this place even more fascinating is what happens on certain days. When the sun hits the sand just right, it absorbs so much heat that it feels like it's on fire, literally burning your feet. This creates the illusion that the beach is breathing fire, giving it an almost mystical quality. Unlike traditional white sand beaches, Playa Negra stays warm even after sunset, creating an eerie yet mesmerizing experience. The contrast of the dark sand against the bright blue ocean makes it feel like you've stepped into a fantasy world. And because it's tucked away in a secluded area, you'll often have the entire beach to yourself. If you're an adventurer looking for a truly off-the-beaten-path experience, this is one of Puerto Rico's most surreal hidden gems. Just don't forget your flip-flops, unless you want to feel the fiery heat of the sand firsthand. No driver's license? No problem. In most places, you need a driver's license to legally drive on public roads. But in some parts of Puerto Rico, that rule doesn't always apply. On the islands of Culebra and Vieques, just off the mainland, many people get around using golf carts, ATVs, and scooters, and you don't always need a license to drive them. These small tropical islands have very few cars and almost no traffic lights, making them the perfect place to ditch traditional vehicles. In fact, on Vieques, renting a golf cart is actually the preferred way to explore, and tourists love the freedom of cruising around without worrying about complicated driving laws. In Culebra, home to one of the most beautiful beaches in the world, Flamenco Beach, It's common to see people driving their rented golf cart straight onto the sand, soaking in the breathtaking views. Meanwhile, Vieques, famous for its wild horses and glowing bioluminescent bay, has an equally laid-back driving culture, where both locals and visitors rely on off-road vehicles to explore the island effortlessly. Because speed limits are low and roads are quiet, there's very little danger, making it a stress-free way to travel. But don't let the relaxed island vibe fool you. On the mainland, you definitely need a driver's license, and traffic in places like San Juan can be just as chaotic as any big city. Still, if you're looking for a place where you can cruise around without the hassle of paperwork, Puerto Rico's island getaways are the perfect escape. Who needs a car when you can explore paradise on a golf cart, a cave that inspired Pirates of the Caribbean? Puerto Rico is home to some of the most breathtaking caves in the world. But one, in particular, is so cinematic that it actually helped inspire scenes in Pirates of the Caribbean. Welcome to Kamui River Cave Park, a vast underground wonderland filled with rivers, sinkholes, and eerie caverns that look straight out of a fantasy movie. This massive cave system is one of the largest in the world, stretching over 10 miles, though experts believe much of it is still undiscovered. Inside, you'll find towering stalactites, underground waterfalls, and natural stone bridges formed over millions of years. One of the most famous spots is Cueva Clara, a gigantic cavern with ceilings so high they seem to vanish into the darkness. The Kamui River, which flows through the caves, is one of the longest underground rivers on Earth, adding to the mystical atmosphere. Long before modern explorers arrived, these caves were sacred to the indigenous Taino people, who left behind ancient carvings, signs that this was once a holy place. Today, adventurers and thrill-seekers come to explore its ghostly tunnels and hidden passageways, making it one of Puerto Rico's top natural attractions. With its deep shadows, ancient rock formations, and mysterious underground world, it's easy to see why this cave system helped inspire the supernatural feel of Pirates of the Caribbean. If you've ever wanted to feel like a real-life explorer, this is a place to be. San Juan, one of the oldest cities in the Americas. Puerto Rico's capital, San Juan, isn't just a beautiful city. It's one of the oldest European-established cities in the Americas. Founded in 1521, it's older than New York, Boston, and even Jamestown, making it a living piece of history. Walking through old San Juan feels like stepping back in time, with its cobblestone streets, colorful Spanish colonial buildings, and towering 16th century forts. One of the most famous landmarks is Castillo San Felipe del Morro, a massive fortress built to defend the city from pirates and invaders. Over the centuries, El Morro has survived attacks from the British, Dutch, and countless storms, standing as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of Puerto Rico's most iconic attractions. But San Juan isn't just about history, it's also full of life. From vibrant street art to the sound of salsa music echoing from local bars, the city pulses with energy. And let's not forget the food. San Juan is home to some of the best cuisine in the Caribbean, from mofongo, mashed plantains with garlic and pork, to lechon, roast pork, and handmade empanadillas. One of the city's most unique features? Its famous cat colony. Hundreds of stray cats roam the streets of Old San Juan, protected by locals and animal organizations, adding to the city's charm and character. At night, the city transforms, offering everything from high-energy nightclubs to oceanfront bars with breathtaking sunset views. Whether you're exploring the historic forts, tasting authentic Puerto Rican cuisine, or simply soaking in the island vibes, San Juan is a place where the past and present collide in the most magical way. With over 500 years of history, it remains one of the most fascinating cities in the Americas. Puerto Rico has its own version of the Bermuda Triangle. You've heard of the Bermuda Triangle. But did you know Puerto Rico has its own version of this mysterious area? Just off the island's northern coast lies the Puerto Rico Trench, one of the deepest points in the entire Atlantic Ocean, plunging down nearly 28,000 feet. That's deeper than Mount Everest is tall. This area has been linked to strange disappearances, unexplained lights, and bizarre compass malfunctions, leading some to call it the Caribbean's answer to the Bermuda Triangle. Over the years, pilots and sailors have reported weird disturbances, with some claiming to have seen glowing objects beneath the water or mysterious aircraft hovering near the ocean surface. Some believe these occurrences are linked to strong electromagnetic fields, while others think they're simply caused by unpredictable weather and deep-sea currents. But for scientists, the Puerto Rico Trench is fascinating for an entirely different reason. It's home to some of the most alien-like deep-sea creatures on the planet. We're talking about giant squids, bioluminescent fish, and bizarre, never-before-seen species. Even NASA has studied the trench because its extreme conditions are similar to environments found on icy moons in our solar system, making it a perfect place to learn about potential alien life. Some theorists even believe the trench could hide a secret underwater base, but no one has ever been able to prove it. Whether you're intrigued by supernatural mysteries or just love the wonders of deep-sea exploration, there's no doubt that the Puerto Rico Trench is one of the most fascinating and unexplored places on Earth. The deepest point in the Atlantic Ocean lies here. If you thought the Mariana Trench was the only deep spot in the ocean, think again. Puerto Rico is home to the deepest part of the Atlantic Ocean, Milwaukee Deep. Located within the Puerto Rico Trench, this point plunges to an astonishing depth of 27,493 feet. That's over 5 miles deep, making it one of the least explored places on Earth. Scientists estimate that only about 5% of the trench has been mapped, meaning there could be entire ecosystems, unknown species, and undiscovered geological formations lurking in the depths. This extreme depth makes the Milwaukee Deep one of the most dangerous places for underwater exploration. The pressure at the bottom is over 1,000 times greater than at the ocean surface, so intense that only a handful of submarines have ever dared to venture that far down. And the discoveries made so far? Mind-blowing. Some researchers believe hydrothermal vents and deep-sea trenches like this could hold clues to how life began on Earth, so they continue to study it for scientific breakthroughs. But despite its mysteries, the Puerto Rico Trench isn't just a place of discovery. It's also a hotspot for earthquakes and tsunamis. Because the trench sits on a major tectonic fault line, it has the potential to cause massive natural disasters. In 1918, an earthquake near the trench triggered a tsunami that devastated parts of Puerto Rico, proving just how powerful and unpredictable this deep-sea region can be. While the Milwaukee Deep remains a largely uncharted frontier, one thing is certain: there's still so much left to discover beneath the waves. And there you have it. That's 15 mind-blowing facts about Puerto Rico. Proof that this island is one of the most unique places on Earth. From glowing waters and ancient caves to mysterious trenches and endless fiestas, Puerto Rico is so much more than just a tropical getaway. But now I want to hear from you. Which fact surprised you the most? Drop a comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button. It really helps support the channel and brings more awesome travel content your way. And if you love discovering the world's most fascinating places, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an adventure. More mind-blowing destinations are coming soon, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hasta luego, amigos!